who's doing day-to-day, keeping an eye on?
Yeah. So we have a plumbing service manager, electrical service manager, and an HVAC service manager.
Okay.
We handle all the inbound calls from our call center in Birmingham.
Okay.
So they don't have a separate call center.
Right.
So we don't have that function down there. But we do dispatch locally.
Okay.
And we do some admin locally.
Okay.
So we have kind of an office manager, general manager.
Yeah.
And she has been with us, probably
10 years.
Oh, wow.
Maybe longer than that, 12 years.
So she relocated.
She started with us in Birmingham.
Okay.
And did every job in the office.
Yeah.
And so she understands all that. And so she went down and started with the office down there. And so she manages dispatch there and admin there, and is sort of a GM.
Yeah.
Kind of manages the service manager.
Gosh.
Yep.
Very good.
And so, we didn't start out with service managers down there.
Sure.
You don't need a service manager. We had to, each one of them, we had to grow the department enough to where the revenue justifies putting someone in a management role.
How many trucks do you have? 10? 8?
I think, that like that, you really probably need to think about it once you hit about 6.
Yeah.
And can we put somebody in that role at least part-time?
Yeah.
Now, maybe we don't book them up completely. Maybe we, they're still going to run overflow or whatever, but we start shifting their responsibility.
Yeah.
Because if you go much past that, you start getting chaos.
Sure. Always internal promotion, or was there ever an extra?
I prefer internal promotion.
Yeah.
That's how we've always done it.
What do you look for in those people? I mean, is it just top performers, or is it certain personality traits?
No, I'm looking more at personality trait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the culture index.
Yeah, that's another place culture index comes into play.
Another test that we like to use, because a person answering the phone does not have the same personality as a technician that's going to work with the customers.
Sure.
Or a bookkeeper. They all have different personalities. So we want to make sure we don't have a bookkeeper that has bookkeeper personality that needs to be a technician.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So,
and I'm going to tell you, we have 6 service managers right now, 3 in Birmingham, 3 in Dabney, and every one of them are different. And they have different culture index surveys.
Yeah.
But they understand who they are.
Yeah.
I understand who they are, and they understand how they can manage. Like, what is their individual management style?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, really, it just gets down to can they communicate well? Can they hold people accountable?
Okay.
And can they replicate our values? Do they share our values?
How do you know that, though, when they're a technician? You can see the value, right? They hold your values, but to hold somebody that was your coworker accountable, and the next day that they're the one that they have to be the head on it. Yeah.
That's tough.
Is it just conversations? Like, hey, Joe, you got it. Okay.
Yeah. It's, okay, here's what this role involves.
Yeah.
This is what you're going to need to do. And you can tell who the other techs respect.
Right.
Because when they have a problem, if they can't get who they want, then who do they call?
That's a good point.
And that kind of tells you who they respect their opinion, and so, you look for that person.
Sure.
It's like, have they, because I think leaders, people will kind of start following them even if they're not in a leadership position.
Right.
They just have that natural kind of a thing,
How do you onboard those? Because, again, the job's totally different.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you're looking at everyone's invoices, you're looking at the numbers and KPIs, and what's your successful recipe in getting someone up and running in that position?
Gosh, I am not a good person to ask stuff like this, because I'm not this, real sort of buttoned up process person.
Okay.
Where this is how we do it every time.
Yeah.
I will interact with each one of those guys differently. And I'll just go, here are the things that are important.
Yeah.
You got to figure out in your way, in your style, how to make sure that these things get done.
Right.
This is the average ticket expectation. This is the conversion rate expectation. This is how the trucks should look. This is, our callbacks have got to stay below X and
Yep.
all that, and if all that's great, I stay out of their hair and let them do their thing.
Right.
If something's getting out of whack, we go, okay, well, what do we need to do about this?
Right.
And then, or, hey, we've had 4 conversations about Joe. It doesn't look like it's getting better.
Right.
What's the plan?